Hello. We'll be starting in just a second. I'm just making sure I got everything all together. I think for all that I was stuffing my face with dinner up until about 10 minutes ago, I feel like I'm actually oddly put together. Almost more put together than I am when I, check everything 30 minutes before. The only thing I'm missing is some stuff I was using. Here we go. I was doing some seam ripping on the couch, and that was a thing. Hi, Jude. Alright, did I post my go lives? I think I did. Like me trying to remember. Yes. Yay for streak. Alright. And captions are on, so yay. Let's switch over to just chatting. Hi. There's a lot of light in here right now. I'm sorry. I will need it later. Oh, that was a summoning of Susie. Alright, let's roll backwards. Don't get caught on the wire. Come here. So you can be in frame. And not knock over the tripod, please. Hello. Hi. It's Thursday. Yeah, Susie. She wasn't impressed with the rain today. Here. And I'm trying to move back so that she's in frame, and she keeps, shifting away from me. Yes, hello. It's Thursday. It rained all day. She wasn't impressed. Made worse by the fact that it rained, and when it was the lightest of the rain was always 10 minutes before I had a call, so we just ran outside and ran back in. It's been a week since we last talked. Or since we were last on stream. Part of it has just been, life, and part of it was mental. Of being yeah, I'm not doing this. I've struggled the past 5 days or so. And oddly enough, the past, I would say 48 hours were oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm back on this. Let's do stuff. Hey, Puddle Glum, welcome in. Do you want to? And the spring leaf, hey. Twitch is no, you're not allowed to say anything. And you guess, Leaf shows up as I'm just here to say hello to Susie, forget the rest of y'all. I would have tilted that camera down. The problem is my desk is a mess right now, and I don't want you all to see all of it. You're already seeing a little bit in the corner. Leaf is here for one thing and one thing only, and that's a Susie. I need to post one of those photos. I need to post one of the photos of her staring real hard at me the other day. I think it was Tuesday. And you know how it is. Susie is either sad when she stares at me. Well, no. Susie has 3 settings. She's either happy to see you, she's judging you, or she's threatening you with her gaze alone. What was it you said, Cypher, in Pirate's chat? That Susie stares at people like they owe her money? Very unimpressed. So we are going to... You said bye to the cat and then bye to the others too. Are you sure, Cypher? It's Thursday. It's been a week. We all... So fun times have happened. So first off, y'all, I was so sure I was going to finish these pants over the weekend. And then I screwed up putting the zipper in twice. And when I finally got it in, I was like, it's fine. the zipper's in now, and I went to go serge the edges because it was fraying a little bit. This particular fabric is not too bad. And I messed up the serger. So I had my first, I've made a mistake with the serger. And the mistake was, I thought the foot was down and it was not. And so basically it stitches correctly, but it doesn't stitch tightly. And it was a mess. And I was like, well, now I have to seam rip this whole thing. And I was like, well, that's it. I didn't want to look at the project the rest of the weekend. So I've actually made very little well, that's not true. I have made progress on the pants, but they're not done, which they should have been on Friday. And then I think that just dragged everything else down, because then I was like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to sew. I don't want to crochet. I literally want to do nothing. And that kind of fed into the beginning of the week. And then I was working late on Monday. Unintentionally, I just have a bunch of stuff I'm trying to get done. So by the time I had finished up work, I hadn't cooked, I hadn't walked Susie, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get all of that done before trying stream time. So that's why I canceled stream. It was not in my best interest to try and get, walk the dog and cook and feed myself in 20 minutes and be live on time. And then be on for people with how I was feeling. Or where I was at, mentally and emotionally is maybe how I should phrase it. It's rough sometimes when you're just, feeling down. Little things that aren't in the grand scheme of, your life or the world, that important, just hitting you kind of mentally in a way where you're like, now I have zero motivation. I have zero interest in doing anything. I'm just going to curl up with a blanket and my dog on the couch and do nothing. Tuesday was positive though. Tuesday was, a little more solid. I had a work thing, get revealed, fully revealed publicly. That was really well received, and that was exciting. And then, hold on, I have to give Susie treats. I'll turn on the light and point it down so that you all can hopefully see her when I roll out of the way. When I roll out of the way, she says to herself and attempts to turn. Susie. Maybe I should be on the other side. That might make more sense. But anyways, so Tuesday was positive for that, and I thought about whether I wanted to do a makeup stream on Tuesday, but unfortunately, I have a late work call on Tuesdays. A company that we work with is based in Australia, and the time zone difference is a mess. So we take a late call, and they take an early call, and we make it work. And then, this is a comedy. I posted about this on, I think, Blue Sky, but yesterday morning, sometime overnight, Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, one of our water mains at my apartment complex burst. And woke up yesterday morning to very low water pressure. And at first I was like, all right, is there some type of leak or something in my apartment? So here I am scoring the entire apartment, checking absolutely everything. Every place that there is a faucet, there is piping that I can reach, and going, is there water? What has happened? And by the time I've done all of this, it's okay, there's no leaks anywhere. I don't have any water dripping. There's no, water damage or anything. I'm like, all right, well, I can't find anything, so my best guess is it's something with the building. And we do have an emergency maintenance phone number that we can call, but at this point, it's like 15 minutes before our front office opens, what have you. And I was like, I bet they know. And sure enough, I'm like, all right, I'll stop by as I walk Susie. And I go outside, and it's like, yep, there's already people looking around, construction individuals, I would say. Not just people who live in the apartment, who are, looking at stuff, getting set up. And I was like, yep, they know. So whatever it is, we'll figure it out. They got it resolved. Props to them. They got it done in the day. It took all day. They had to dig up like a 40 to 50 foot stretch of our like road and parking to dig out and get to this pipe where they figured out where the issue was. How they knew that's where the issue was, I don't know. They did it. I think they started like tearing up the asphalt at like 9:30, and they had it fixed and the water back on by about 5. But it made it an interesting day because I was like, all right, well, I don't want to leave Susie here because I couldn't top off her water because of course they shut the water and everything like that. And so it was just kind of like, well, I guess I'm home dealing with this today. So anyways, that's to say, like, but oddly enough, the reason this all worked out is as frustrating as it was. At the end of the day, I was like, you know what? I'm not cooking. I'm going to order myself dinner. I'm going to, run out and get that, come back. The water's back on. I'm going to feed myself. We walk Susie, all of those things. I was like, I'm going to treat myself to the water being back on. And after it was a relatively, like, humid day. Not so hot that I wouldn't have the windows open, but like not comfortable with, especially without water, on, and was like, shower and then just go to bed. And it was nice. And then I woke up today and I was like, I feel like better, mentally, like I got some stuff done. I think they started digging up the road at about 9:30. I think they officially told us they were turning off the water at like 10 or 10:30. And then by 5 o'clock, they were like, water's back on. We're, like the higher pressure should be all set within 30 minutes. They brought down some like gravel or something, like evened out the portion of the road and parking that had to take up, blocked it off, and we're like, yo, we'll get it repaved on Friday. Probably what I'll do first thing tomorrow morning is I'll go move my car so it's not anywhere near any of that. And but yeah, so I would say like that's like what, 8 hours ish. Not bad considering they had to dig up the frickin' road to get to the pipe. To get to what the section that I just remember I happened to be looking out at them working because it's like within field of view of the window to my apartment, right as they're like taking this like giant saw down into the hole that they've dug. I'm like, oh yeah, they must have found the problem. So anyways, but oddly enough, dealing with that yesterday and then kind of having to like, oh, now after this miserable day, I'm eating food I didn't have to cook. And then feeling extra like thankful for the opportunity, or thankful to be able to take a shower with running water. I woke up today and I was like, cool, let me make like a list of the things I need to get done. Let me, the other funny thing, y'all, small aside, it's something we talked about forever and ever ago, is that my driver's license is expiring in July. And so it's like, I got like the, letter being like, hey, reminder, you need to renew. You can do it online or, via mailing this in or, coming in. And I was like, oh crap, I forgot. While I could have renewed online, I wanted to go in to renew because I hadn't remembered to do it before to get my, restriction off that says I wear corrective lenses. So basically I hadn't gotten it updated after I got LASIK. So I lucked out because I remembered this on Tuesday, was looking up and was like, okay, which of the DMV offices is like not an hour away and has an appointment within like the next week or two. And lucked out because the one that's like 25 minutes away had an appointment the next day. So yesterday afternoon, I took a short break from being here with no water. I should clarify that our complex, like in addition to the notes that they were sending out regarding like the status of the water main being fixed and everything else, they were like, if you are here today and you need water, we do have water in the office, so please swing by and grab a couple bottles and stuff. But I got my break and I went out and it was literally 30 minutes, 20 of which was waiting for them to check me in, or waiting in the line to be checked in. And it was real quick and easy to be like, yep, I got LASIK. They're like, cool, fill out this form. And when your new license gets sent to you, it will now no longer have the restriction on it saying that you wear corrective lenses. I was like, a large scale, it's kind of relatively minor, but it is one of those where it's like, on the off chance that I was ever in an accident, somebody could make the case that my license says I'm supposed to be wearing glasses and I'm not. So anyways, it was like, I feel good. I booked all of the excursions I want to do on my cruise, so that's all done. Dealt with my driver's license, knocked out a couple other, being an adult things, called because I had to move a hair appointment. Unfortunately, we're going to have to change the original plans, which was, we were going to update my cut and put in more of the wild color right before Pride. But now I'm going to be on vacation over Pride. And I was like, well, crap. I have to move my appointment regardless because I will now not be here when it's originally scheduled. But we're not going to be able to do the fun color for Pride because I'm not going to get color done right before I go on a cruise when I want to be able to comfortably like jump in the water and go swimming if I want to. So that was the plan. So I moved my appointment up to the weekend before I leave. Or the weekend before I leave. No, I'm sorry. 2 weekends earlier. So not this weekend, next weekend. And I'm going to go in and get it cut just so we can update the cut, but I'll wait to do color until I get back from vacation. So, we'll probably just leave it as is. So I still have the blue on this side and the slightly harder to see but purple on this side. But the thing that'll be interesting, so I think I posted to Instagram, and I don't know how easy it'll be to tell here. Actually, it should be relatively easy. But we did a longer version. Hold on. My music's a little loud. There we go. We did a longer version of like the asymmetrical cut, so it is longer in the front. And shorter. Little harder to see, but you kind of can. Shorter in the back. I feel like the way that my kind of hair tends to curl at the end or turn wavy means that it's a little more challenging, like in person, to really truly see the length difference. Like you can, but it's not quite as obvious, I would say. I mean, it's still a solid. So the way my friend who does my hair explained it is she's like, when I cut somebody shorter to an asymmetrical, she's like, I always start them at a longer one because they either love it or they hate it. And so she's like, I don't want to go super short in an asymmetrical if you're going to hate it. I think my problem here is I either want it to be short or I want it to be long. This middle ground for me, I feel like the way my hair is, the asymmetrical nature of the cut isn't actually super noticeable. So I almost want to be like, take off like 1 or 2 inches here and then like legit cut it. Like, make this where I can just barely get the back into a ponytail, if I want to pull it out of the way. But because of the way it's cut, I'm like, the whole point of this is the type of haircut that you would get trimmed more often to maintain it because it's shorter, what have you. So I was like, all right, I want to come in before I go on vacation to get it touched up one way or another. So I might end up with shorter hair, y'all. Who knows? I feel like most of the time I've known all of you, I've had longer hair. Hey, DC, welcome in. But I'm going to go on vacation, so I'm like, can we just do it? Like, but yeah, not an undercut. Think more like an asymmetrical bob, where you have kind of the shorter bob length here with the longer in the front, with the idea that like almost like it comes in. I'm really bad at describing things right now, especially on a Thursday after the way this week has gone. We did talk about an undercut at one point. We discussed a variety of things. But she also knows how I feel about winter. So while theoretically it will like grow out some by that point, I don't know that I want to go while I live here where it gets cold, over winter all the way for an undercut. I don't know. We'll chat with her and see what she thinks, when I go in. But I'm kind of in the like, yeah, I feel like we either need to commit to the shorter cut or we need to say we're not doing it. This sort of in between. I don't hate it. It's just annoying. I'm like, it's not as short as I want it to be. Hold on. I clicked it. I'm waiting for it to load. Because it's loading very slowly. Or it's not loading the image in. Hold on. Why are all of them frickin'... The first, like, 5 options of what I wanted to show you are very much, they're all Pinterest. Just leave, like, don't mind me, I'm just streaking through it. We are gonna sew tonight, y'all. Here we go. These are all, like, just such terribly long. Alright, hold on. Okay, so Googling it often enough, or Googling it enough, is, these are like probably a more extreme version lengthwise. Actually, no, this might be, alright, let me, this one. So the photo I want, that's actually, you know what, we're not going to do that one. I'm trying, you have to like see them from the side to really see the way they're supposed to look. So I'm seeing, basically looking it up, is this what is this? Okay, so Googling it is like, if you look up something like a high-low bob, a inverted bob, or what was the one I literally just saw? essentially the idea is that it's longer in the front, shorter in the back, but you're doing it as a shortcut, so it can be very extreme. I think a lot of the examples I see are like bob, with the longest portion is maybe to like the edge of your chin. I'm thinking more like if I wanted to cut it, I would want it to be maybe here. So a bit past the chin, a little bit longer, but the shorter length in the back. All of the links I find are like terrible links. There we go. This is the one I want. Here we go. Something like this is sort of what we were thinking. Something for summer that would grow out enough over fall. The only thing I've told her I wanted was that I still wanted to be able to like pull it up. But the thing is for the hair like at the back of your neck, it doesn't have to be that long. Like, it can literally be, you know, like, I was like, if it's the stubbiest little stub tail ponytail when I put my hair up, I'm fine with that. Cause right now I feel like my hair in the back could be cut 2 to 3 more inches and it would still work. So I think that's probably what I'm gonna go for. The other thing that'll be interesting, I haven't really cut my hair like short. This is probably, I've done a little bit like closer to shoulder, but it was a few years ago. Is sometimes it gets like extra wavy and stuff, which is very funny to me. So anyways, so this is my long way of going. I had to move my hair appointment. We're not going to do the color before vacation because I don't want to have to deal with having fresh color in and then having to be extra careful about like going into water and stuff when I'm literally going on a cruise. But I moved my appointment up so that I could still get it cut. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to go. So this was a test of it. This is a long version of it. It doesn't help right now that I am wearing a dark shirt, but there's probably a couple of inches between the hair here in the front and the hair in the back, but it's a longer version basically. So I'm gonna be like, just freaking cut it. Like, we're either going short or we're not doing this. Cause my challenge to my friend who does my hair was, if I did not wait 6 months every time to come in to have my hair cut, how would you cut it? And she was like, oh, I think like this, kind of asymmetrical cut would be fun, but like you have to come in every 8-ish weeks or so to get it trimmed, or else it gets all funky when it grows out. So that's what we think we're gonna do. Not this weekend, next weekend. What I think we're gonna do. We'll see when I go in and chat with her and explain to her my opinions about this. Again, I don't have a problem with it. It's just, it feels longer. Yeah, see, like, so like that, the other thing that I like about this cut is, which she was not willing to do for me. She's like, no, I refuse. Because I wouldn't come in like every like 3 to 4 weeks for a touch up. Because I was like, well, what about like the asymmetrical where one side is longer than the other? And then you have like the short back, longer front, and that they're like, you can find like fun cuts of where they do that, where it's like super long here and it gets up shorter and then it ends up like almost the shortest on the other side. So yeah, I play with, like, I would one day maybe try a pixie cut, but I don't think I quite have the courage for that yet. And if I did it, I think I would want to cut it in like March, April, when it's still like the tail end of winter. And so that you could theoretically, you would have like 6 to 8 months before the worst of winter hit again. And if you hate it, you can grow it out semi-reasonably by that point. But yeah. Oh, looking up hairstyles is both the best and the worst. It's both the best and the worst. So let me show you all real quick where we're at. So I have put together most of our pants. they're inside out right now because what we're actually about to do is to stitch the sides together. And the zipper is legit in here, for real. So we actually don't have a ton left to do. Essentially what's going to happen is I'm going to be stitching the sides. We'll close up the pants and fold down. This is our fold layer. I'm actually probably going to stitch them, try them on. If they fit okay, we will take them through the serger for these seams. And then what we're going to be doing is putting in the pleating. We'll be hemming the bottom. And then there is one last step. I started doing the pieces. If you want to, basically we'll put in the pieces to hold. Yeah, see? Fun. This is interesting because this is several different ways. Or I shouldn't say several different ways, but like several different angles. This is the one challenge when I was looking at Bob's. It's getting somebody to do like the full, like almost 360 so you can see what it looked all the way and not just in the front. Like if somebody looks at me like this, I just look like I have the same hair as before, but a little bit shorter. You don't really, because the way my hair is and how long it still is, you don't really like see or feel the fact that it's shorter in the back here. Honestly, if I really want to screw with her, I'm going to be like, only chop a little bit, keep the front super, super long, and then make the back short and give me that really extreme difference in height. I don't know if she'll do it though. So anyways, so the good part is we're going to literally get to, the zipper and everything's in. So we're going to stitch the sides and get straight into trying these on as long as they fit okay, or they seem to. They'll be probably a little loose at the waist. Because I haven't put the pleating in, and so that'll like bring it in a little bit for the tighter shape from hip to waist. But yeah, so let's swap it over. Now that I've spent 30 minutes talking, to our crafting view. Move my water out of the way. Listen, looking up haircuts is dangerous. The funny thing too is, I think I'm always a little bit afraid to cut my hair because I'm like, once you cut it short, it's like, well, what if I don't like it? And then I have to wait for it to grow out, which is honestly like a really silly thing. Your hair grows. It's fine. Oh, one thing I was going to do actually is I was going to swap my needle. Once I remember where I put my container with my needles. Because I almost messed mine up by stitching over the... I almost messed it up by stitching over the... I threw a bunch of stuff all over the place, and now I'm like, where did I put this thing? I don't know. Also, quick reminder, because I'm 100% forgetful, we are fundraising for St. Jude. A $5 donation gets shark hands. A $10 donation, I will put on one of my silly hats. And a $50 donation, we will swap over to is this my standard? Alright, the downside is the way these are etched, I can't read them most of the time. It's a 70-10, which is not what we're looking for here. A needle, titanium ballpoint, quilting now. Which is just chatting soon with maybe some sewing. That was last week. Yeah, here we go. Universal needles. Oh wait, that's a universal needle. That's 80. 12. I wanted the 90. 14. What the heck? There's a random universal needle in here? Or what are you? A 9014, so we can use you. We don't even have to pull a new one out. Come here. Zipper foot back. Ah! Butterfingers. Alright. I hope you fit. You. Alright. I don't really believe that this song is main character song. I still don't trust that some of these are not. So I'm a little bit behind because I only have like 3 weeks to finish sewing all the things I think I'm going to sew. But on the bright side, I have everything I need for the gift for my dad. So that, that's probably actually going to be my weekend project, is going to, once we finish this, besides pants and stuff, I have everything I need to make the pickleball, bag for my dad, and also the bag for myself, a test build of each of them, as well as the materials for like the final official one that I want to do. So I'm probably going to be, I hate to say binge doing that, but trying to finish do those bags, at least the test and final build of the pickleball bag over the weekend, so I can get that done and out of the way. And then, music, could you please tell me? Good songs? Play? Yes? Yes? Please? Come on. There we go. Because the pickleball bag is going to be a gift for my dad's birthday and Father's Day, because they're kind of close together. So that will be, that I definitely want to get done. I know what my highest priority projects are of the clothing I want to get complete. So I want to work on those, and the bags. The envy of the court when he rocks it. It's going to be great. I've also, funny enough, I was working on, forever ago, crocheting a little bucket hat, just to use up some of the yarn I had, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try and finish this so that I'm bringing a gift for my mom, too. So, and honestly, my plan is that I'm going to bring in both the test bag and the the one that's actually gonna be his, sorry camera, sorry about that, y'all. And the one that's actually meant to be his because, well, I don't play pickleball. Alright. Now let us stitch the other side. We'll do the exact same thing. Okay. But yeah, so I have a lot to get done. But I will. Or a lot that I'd like to get done. But I am confident that we will get, not everything, but a good portion of the projects I want to get completed. As mentioned, I did finally book my excursions. One is ATV and beach, which will be fun, I think. Another is snorkeling, and I forget. Oh, one's like a hike, kayaking, and then beach time. So. I'm going to take a bunch of crochet projects with me, because I have no shame. And so many books. I'll stock up my Kindle. I'll pick out a whole bunch of books to take with me. All right. Hey, y'all. Flip all of this over. Oh, actually, let me. Trim these. Alright. Take crochet and all the books you can, basically. I will also take physical books with me, but I'll be a little bit more selective of what physical books I take versus what'll be on the Kindle. Alright, let me swap over to BRB, y'all. I'm gonna go put these on real quick. And be right back. Alright, hold on a second, y'all, because this is like... These are comedically large. So I'm going to attempt to bring clip the pleats the way they're supposed to go and see if that helps with the sizing, because this is wild. Like, I expected it to be big. I did not expect it to be quite this large. So please hold one moment. I actually don't think this is the way the pleats are supposed to sit, but it's how they're gonna sit for right now. Like, I have so many questions. I hope these pleats are gonna do a lot of work for me. How's everyone doing this Thursday? You got any good plans for the weekend? Okay. I feel a little bit better about this now. They're gonna look real funky, because the pleats are just clips. I haven't pinned them or anything, so the pleats aren't quite pleating the correct way. But let me move the chair off to the side, and let me switch over to just chatting. And then, alright, they look really funky at the top right now because of the not pleats being in. And the pleats, also the other thing I will say, I'm missing 2 pleats. I can't fold and clip them on the back. So these will be, when this is correct, the pleats are going to bring the fabric together, not quite like this. I think they're supposed to go the other way. It'll basically give me a shape up here. The zipper went in fine. I still think it's weird because in my regular jeans, the zipper's on the other side, or like the opening for the zipper's on the other side. But so we have our pockets. The chair's just like perpetually in the way. There's no good place to put the chair that it's not in the way. I guess like here, maybe? So if I stand back by Susie, y'all can see. So probably what I'm going to do, there's a couple of things to account for here, y'all. It's okay, chair, we appreciate you. First, let me show you all what this looks like without the clips on, trying to recreate the pleats. Because it looks like this. Without the pleats in, I can fold over, essentially, maybe not there. This is probably 4 inches of fabric. They look funny without, but mostly what I was interested in and what I'm concerned about, because if you all remember, the blue pants were very tight right across, like, the thickest section of my hips, so I didn't want that. Yes, they look like the like dry leg, like fly fishing. That's who I am right now. So a couple of things here. First, to remember, please remember, I forgot to wash this fabric before we cut it and we used it. So it is much stiffer than it will probably be after it's washed. That said, I might take, okay, wait, this is just, it's so awkward, because it doesn't have the pleats in. I was thinking I might take in the sides, but I think I'm gonna keep it. Because if nothing else, I can always come back and revisit the sides if I need to. Mostly I'm interested in like a slightly tighter fit at the ankle and down. Right now it's a little bit of a mess because it's so loose up here, that it means it's hard for me to say if the rest of it is too loose. It's certainly not fitted. But yeah, these are a lot. So, bright side, zipper went in great. Once I got it done, take number 3. Downside is right now they look very comedic. So, let me go back to BRB and take these off, and we're hopefully about to fix this. Hey, Furwick, welcome in. All right. So there's 2 things we're going to do. First is I'm going to go ahead and take the serger to these side seams. And also, I realize now, I kind of left the pockets alone, and I think I'm going to leave them alone still. The only thing I'll do here is I will trim just this little bit of extra fabric on the top. I probably should have taken the serger to the edge of the pockets, and there's parts of it that I still can, so I'll do that right now. But welcome in for work. I hope you have coffee. I have a whole list of things I want to try and get done before I'm gone too, that relates to just getting my apartment clean, please and thank you. Alright. I'm sorry, you all won't be able to really see this. So you're gonna have terrible view. So I'm going to take the serger with all of this, and then I'm actually also going to press my seams. And look at that. We have lovely, nice serge seams. Woo! Alright. Do the same thing on the other side. This is also very loud, I feel. Coffee has already been consumed, I'm glad. Okay, we've done all of that, so now let's press our seams just a little bit. Let me swap this camera. Here we go. I'm sorry, that light's just gonna be here in the way, like lights are. Okay. Okay, y'all. I will say this. I did get to I did get to go to the shop that I bought this fabric from, and apparently this is a polycotton twill, which, like, this is a really stiff polycotton, but, like, okay. That's what y'all say it is. So twill was one of the fabrics I could use for this project. So we're gonna press the seams open, or press the seams. Chips are like that, Leaf. It's very dangerous. You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna have a couple, and then suddenly you realize you've eaten an entire bag. This is definitely a main character battle song, I think. Alright, sorry. I know I'm like totally in the way of the camera. Alright, we're just waiting for the iron heat up. And now we shall press. Now, in this case, I'm not too concerned about how perfect the press is, like you might be with, say, quilting. I mostly just want to make sure that that it helps open up the seam. One way or the other. Okay, well, alright. And I should really be using the tailor's hand to make this a little easier on the sail. There are some tools you can either buy or technically make yourself that will help with this a little bit, but I am both lazy and unable, because some of them are like working with wood. This under, and we are going to press here. I should probably also take I know I'm going to hate this. I should probably also take the serger to this upper edge before I have to fold it all down, because then we're going to start stitching things and we won't be able to do it later, as I learned with the zipper, where I was like, oh, well, I'll just serge this now. And I'm like, nope, should have done it before we finished with the zipper. Lesson learned. Sorry, I'm going to walk over. What books am I currently reading? I'm going through a slew of young adult books right now. So I just recently started Maya and the Rising Dark, which honestly might be more of a middle grade book, but it looked intriguing, and I wanted them to have money, or I wanted them to have money. I wanted them to take my money. And I need to read Guardian Volume 2 so that I can talk with Prax about it. That's also sort of kind of next on my list. I say next, I mean like, I'm probably going to be reading like 3 books at once, which is just who I am as a person. Please don't judge me. I started Physics of the Impossible, which is a book where somebody talks through the physics behind things like the replicator in Star Trek. So basically things that we can sort of envision because media and entertainment have helped us do that, or helped kind of start that for us, but which don't actually currently exist, and what the physics of such a thing would look like, or theoretically be like, I guess. So it's like, using legit physics, could we replicate things like, or could we actually make things like the replicator from Star Trek? Because I just think that's really intriguing. I picked it up when I was on my physics kick, I think a year or two ago. And I'm finally getting around to trying to read it. I realized too, where I'm like, all of the books that are like next up on my list of like things I want to read are all very large books, like meaty, 300 plus pages, thicker books, I guess I would phrase it as, which is not a bad thing per se, but as I think about like what books do I actually want to put into a suitcase and take with me, I'm not sure that all of those extra large ones are the ones I want to take. I have also, started using Storygraph. Which is both great and terrible. Yay, something that's not just Goodreads. Boo. I also, I have been filling in my reading journal, I just haven't been making it as pretty is the issue. So that's on kind of like a couple of my to-dos are like, spend the time to actually take the stuff I've been like that and make them pretty. Okay. Ironing is now done. I'm sorry, camera. Let's swap over. Oh, we said we were gonna do this. Sorry, I'm gonna use the serger for one more thing. Because it'll all get folded down and enclosed for the most part, but And again, because I wasn't thinking, I didn't deal with this. It'll be fine. I like it. Honestly, if I wasn't constantly pulled in 15 different directions, I would have probably... I think I want to, like, pay for their little subscription plan thing. The only thing, which I know is also just by nature of them being, like, new and not Amazon, I do occasionally have books where I'm like, ooh, here's a book I want to pick up that's, like, not in their system yet. Which, not the worst thing, just occasionally it's like when I think of it, it's not a moment when I can deal with, like, importing the book myself. So I actually probably have, like, a ton of screenshots on my phone of books that I mean to, like, at some point import. So I can put them on my to-read list. But I like that they have the various tags. I like that they kind of give you feedback or share, like, what you... Alright. Okay. The good part is... I kind of already did this, which is that I pressed it and just kind of undid it so that I could make sure. This they want me to slip stitch, which I'm currently not going to do. Okay. Did my music freeze again? Alright, so we're going to turn the pants back inside out. We're about to do the pleats, y'all. Because I've talked a lot, and because he's fit quite differently than I was expecting. Oh! For those of you that don't follow me on Blue Sky, I have learned, apparently there's rulers that are like a, heat acceptable temperature, and you can iron on them, which would be amazing for things like trying to iron to a seam allowance. Like, think about it. Instead of having to take a marker, like my pencils or something else to it, and appropriately and like measure and mark it and then fold it over and hold on. A second. Somebody recommended taking my smallest crochet hook and using it to pull the ends of my perfect. Okay. But yeah, so there's there's rulers that you can iron on. So rather than having to measure it, mark it, fold it over, then press, and hope that you press it to the line so it's precise, you could just freaking use the use the ruler and press it exactly to whatever length or width you need it to be. And my hems and things would be so much nicer if I did that. Alright, so it has us base the upper edge, which we will do in just a second. I actually need to put all of you. Right? I feel like it just removes like 2 steps, and then ideally, when it says, there's a bunch of these that are like, oh, fold over and press at 3/8 or 5/8 or whatever, I could just do that, and I wouldn't have to worry about things like, did I measure it correctly, blah, blah, blah. So that's on my to-buy list for sure. Over here, take a sip of my drink. Alright, so wants us to base the top edge. This is, I'm guessing, largely just to make sure that it kind of stays folded down. So we're doing a nice extra long stitch so that should we choose later on, we can easily pull this out. I also want to give credit here that, like, there are sections here, especially at the seams, where we're stitching over 4 to 8 layers, depending on how the seam is constructed. And besides it obviously being, like, a little bit louder, this machine's stitching through it no problem. In a way that I would say was, outside of the heavy duty, generally more challenging. On my other machines. Alright. Okay. So just a little stitch across the top. So now is the pleats. So they want us based upper edge. Alright, so I have made a minor mistake, which is I made all of my my markings on what is now ultimately the outside, which means that I don't know if I'm actually going to do this right, y'all. Off topic, super excited, the expanding. Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm stoked for that too. Honestly, WNBA has been doing work. And I'm very glad for them to get that expansion. Especially when you think about the ways in which it's really, like, widely speaking, underappreciated. So, actually, wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to... Towards the front. Oh, okay, towards the front and towards the back. Alright, so I have done this backwards. Please hold. other way around. And this is why I'm trying to pay extra attention. It's like, you should do this based on where the large and small circles are. And I'm like, I only made one size circle, y'all. I don't know what y'all think. I know the difference between large circles and small circles here, because the answer is I don't. Right. This is slightly... Now the problem here is this is very thick fabric. Well, it's not a problem, but it does make it a little bit more challenging to pin it all down. Try this so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm also trying not to stab myself in the process of I had like no bleeding out fingers tonight. Day 0 since last stabbing, basically. We don't really want any stabbings, like, generally speaking. Ow! Like this. No stabbings like that. Alright. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch these. Alright, so stitch between large circles, press pleats, stored centers. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Don't. Oh my god. Alright, okay, well, you know what we're gonna do here. I get what they want me to do now. That is not what I have just done. Well, crap. Okay. Alright, you know what? I've worked against me. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's just... the way I thought they were going to have me stitch this and the way they actually are going to have me stitch this are two different things. that. And then and of course I've marked it on the wrong side. Alright. Okay. We're gonna try one. And hope I don't accidentally stab myself. Am I stitching or am I basting this? Hey Tom, how are you doing today? Stitch. Alright. Let's hope we do not mess this up. Oh, crap. Alright, it's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be something. Alright. Okay. Okay. I get what they wanted me to be doing here. This is a interesting way to do it, but I will accept it. Alright. So. Music pause again. Just stabbed myself. I'm doing alright. I was all excited where I was like, yeah, I marked everything. It's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna be able to do this so quickly. That was a lie. Alright. Clip. Hold on. This. Let me skip a song since it's more cute here-ish. That's about right. Ish. Everything I'm gonna do is just gonna be exactly that. It's like, ish. Alright. Okay, so basically, let me show y'all what it's doing here. So I thought I was going to be stitching down the front, and that was going to create the pleat. But instead, the markings that are on these, you can kind of see it on the other side that I have, should have been on the inside, because what they essentially want me to do is stitch from one to the other, just folding it together, and then we are actually going to press it. And that is going to create our pleat. So now that I know what I'm doing, it will be less terrible for me to replicate after I get past these ones that I have already mistakenly pinned. Um, This is very awkward because I'm trying to make up for how I did this initially. Alright. Oh! Now we're gonna do this one kind of sort of backwards, just because the way I just realized I marked them and what side I marked them on. So let me do that. But also, I'm a bit delayed, but I think it was Puddlegum who said sleeping, which I think is honestly a solid plan. Sleeping is what I should be doing, actually. Let's be smart, y'all. I know, not a thing I do very often, but... Well, first I'm going to throw my ruler at me. At myself. Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Me being like, is this gonna be fine? I don't know. Am I gonna actually do reasonable pleats? TBD. We will find out. They'll be something like pleats is what they're going to be when it's all said and done. Alright. 4 down. 4 to go. Alright. Alright. We're going to be smart about this, y'all. Just to say. Alright, so basically I'm putting a pin through at the circles that are marked on the outside, marking those on the inside. They're not going to be the straightest of lines, but they're going to be something like lines. They just have to be, like, reasonably there. They don't gotta be perfect. Alright. I do feel like this is very awkward. Like, how they want you to do it is a little weird. Okay, so like, if I poke this through, it'll be like mostly where we want it to be. Ish. Yeah. Alright, that one's solid. Alright. It's so weird. Never made, well no, I have made pleats before. I used the shorts version of this pattern. And now I'm just perpetually confused. It's fine. It's all gonna work out, is ultimately what's gonna happen here, and I'm just going to be confused along the way. I should really have watched a tutorial of this, or tried to find one, because, like, this doesn't really make sense. Like, conceptually I get it, but like, why are we doing it this way? I think is the thing that I don't get. Like, why like this? Someone, please explain. Oh, right. It doesn't have to make sense to me, it just has to work, apparently. Yeah, the instructions want you to go, most things leave me. I want to streak! Also, yay, streak. Sleep is good, yes, also that too. Sorry, I'm like very focused on trying to do these pleats. But thank you for hanging out for 5 streams. Yeah, a lot of things leave me confused. Like, conceptually I get how this is supposed to be working, but like, realistically, I'm still very much confused. Alright. So now we are going to do the same thing, which is that we are going to just so why? Alright. 1, 2. 3, 4. I have serious questions about who designed this playlist. Okay. All right. Too far into it? Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay. Also, what did I just... Oh. Okay. I probably lied to you all. The pleats are taking longer than I anticipated. So we might not do anything but finish these cans tonight. But they'll be finished. Aha. Alright. Now. Do the exact same thing over here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm lining up where the markings are supposed to be on the outside. I'm clipping so that it doesn't come undone while I'm checking it. And then I'm taking one of my pins, I'm putting it through at the markings I made and saying, is this kind of sort of mostly close to the marking I made? And either yes, it's close enough, or it's, oh no, this is too far away, and it's largely close enough, and then I am stitching. And in this case, I'm making sure that it's also, like, as with many things, made a little bit worse by the fact that, it's like the quilt, if you all remember, where the weight of the quilt pulls things out of whack while you're sewing. So I'm like, is this lined up? And it is mostly, but it's thrown off by the fact. Alright, so we have now made all of our pleats. So next up is press them. So let's have our iron heat back up. The good part is they're all pressed towards... Alright, so press pleats towards centers. should be nice and easy to do. Okay. And this awkward thing that I'm doing over here that y'all can't see because all of my cameras are in the wrong place. I'm sorry. There we go. We'll move you closer, my music. Why is a judgment? It's a miscalculation. There we go. That's a good way of putting it. But this right here, which is honestly partially on me because of just how I'm doing it, is why I should eventually buy myself a cordless iron. It is something I'm going to gift myself eventually. I've just made a lot of expensive purchases recently. So, alright. Now we're going to top stitch each of these. So we are going to stop stitch, pivoting at large circles as shown. Got it. Okay. Let me swap this camera back over to here. None of my sound effects are working again, apparently, or I just missed it. I'm very easily distracted. They do make cordless irons. It's wild. Welcome in, Raiders. All right, hold on a second. Let's swap scenes. Hello, everyone. Welcome into Painting Pirates and Friends. Hi, Sirius. Hi, Bude. Sahana. Leaf, I appreciate that you are both welcoming people and rating in yourself. Alright, listen, you. Mike, I need you to cooperate with me. You heard the sound effect. Okay, then I just didn't. I'm like, it could have happened and I missed it because I was focused. So welcome in, everyone. If you don't know me, I'm LadyLuck34. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a variety streamer who does a lot of crafting and a little bit of gaming, or at least currently I am in, like, we go through phases where it's like all gaming and then all crafting, primarily sewing right now. And the tabs are collapsing. I hope Final Fantasy VII Reworth went well. You did get to welcome yourself into stream. I'm proud of you. But how's everyone this evening? We were working on pants that I was supposed to finish last weekend and did not. So we're trying to 99.9% finish them tonight. Or at least get these pleats done. Because I put them on earlier without the pleats in, and whew, the pleats are doing a lot of effort to make the structure here not terrible. Oh, well, I'm trying to destroy things. It's the one downside of having cables everywhere. That one's like gonna break my computer or something. Sorry, out of focus. Back into focus, please. Thank you. Captured by a cat. Just open your emails and found one from Trindgram. The pleats are pleading. That's what they are. This is an accurate description of the pleats. No lies detected. It looks so much better with the pleats. Okay, so we're going to be doing some stitching. But hi, welcome in everyone. I hope you all are doing well. I'm going to switch it back over to crafting because we are struggling right now. Alright, so they want me to do it. Oh, okay. Got it. Alright, so here to here. Just destroyed most of my markings, so like, well done me. Or no, I shouldn't say destroyed them. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Alright. We're gonna mark all the things here. Okay. We're gonna mark the things so we can sew the things. So they can boost your reach by 30,000. Surprise! Not a scam at all. I think the fun thing with a lot of those is I'm like, don't they know that we know that they're scams now? Like, I guess, like, my thing with it is like, why do you think we don't know that? Is maybe the better way of putting it. Alright. So, I'm trying to figure out, like, what's gonna be the best way to do this. This is a little awkward. Or it's gonna be. I guess it'll be that way. Oh. Awkward stitching ahead, y'all, I'm sorry. Yeah. I think one of the hardest things that I have to get used to this, for this sewing machine is absolutely that, honestly, where the backstitch button is. It's so not intuitive for me. So my pleats aren't going to be... Are you freaking... No, there we go. Okay. My pleats aren't going to be the best. So we're all just going to acknowledge that now. Alright, what nonsense are y'all getting up to? It's fine, it's only your social shoot. Sure, they want my middle name and your bank account. It's very important to have the middle name. Coworker whose cousin was the Nigerian Prince email person told him he had to stop sending those when he got to the States. Oh no! Oh, that's true. You're not wrong. They've evolved too much is really what we're saying. Or we don't want them to evolve too much, is maybe the better way to put it. Alright. Let me... Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's just be honest here. So the challenge I'm having is the placement of this, especially since they want you to turn and stitch in at these markings, is not ideal. So rather than attempting to do what I just did, it doesn't work. We're just gonna they're not gonna be the prettiest pleats, but that's fine. They don't gotta be. Alright, so y'all can kind of see here. No, you can't because the lighting is terrible. There you go. There. So this is what the outside of them will look, and if we kind of turn it inside, you can sort of see. So here's our feet with the stitchings that hold it down. Reminds me, there's a Minecraft group you were watching, and one of the friends is doing email scampering on their server because of their in-game mail system, but Canadian. And the recipient didn't know. Oh no. Well, that's very unfortunate. Now we're gonna awkwardly turn this whole thing. Oh, not the whole machine. Whoops. Alright, hold on. Y'all. There's just so much fabric here. So awkward. There's no good way to do this. We're really surprised they didn't know because the person doing the prank thought they would know immediately. Oh no. I think that's even worse, where somebody's like, oh, they'll totally get what this is. Ha ha. And then they don't, and you're like, oh no, what have I done? Where are you? Oh, alright, there we go. Very cool to see you specific that. It depends on the fabric. Theoretically, I can switch to like heavier duty needles. I don't have to, so this is a pretty standard, or I say it's a pretty standard. I'm using a universal needle right now. This is a heavier, thicker fabric, so I probably could have swapped up to like a denim needle if I wanted to, despite the fact that it's not technically I mean, denim is the way it's woven, essentially. Hold on. I'm busy quickly. Because denim can be, 100% cotton. And it's just the way that it's woven together. So, realistically, I could have swapped this to a denim needle, and that might have been the better idea, but I'm using a universal needle, and that's good enough. In this instance. It's still working, it's going through, I'm getting through multiple layers. And it hasn't broken. So I'm not too concerned about it, broadly speaking. If it was having more trouble getting through the fabric, then I might have swapped over to a denim needle. But, yeah, I'm sorry. I just did the wrong thing. No, just disregard what I just did, machine. And again, they won't be the cleanest pleats, but they'll be pleats, which is really all that matters here. As a reminder, this was one of my... For all that I'm supposed to be working on the projects that, I want to use wear on my vacation, I needed to clear this fabric out because it's out in my main hallway, out in my living room, hanging out on my coffee table and stuff, and I was tired of it being in the way, essentially. So I was like, let me just get these done and out of the way. And what I was doing here is I was just testing I wanted to test different oh my god, I can't afford it all. Different pant builds, to try out. Some of the patterns I already had for pants. So that's kind of what this intent was. Yeah, it's mostly about, a lot of the needles are based around two things. One is being able to pierce through the fabric the way it's woven. And ideally to do it in a way that's not damaging to the fabric. So you would use different needles on, thinner or lighter fabrics, like an organza, essentially, the thickness of the needle, the needle size and type, it's recommended that you use stuff like, ballpoint needles, for knits. It's just simple thing like, help me with getting some stacks of blogs. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so you can use, it's like the type of needle you use on denim versus the type of needle you would use on leather versus what you use on a standard, quilting cotton. Different needles are better with different fabrics, so alright. I hit the wrong button. So this is a little bit of why I'm having trouble with or why my pleats are going to look a little funky. Because one, I can't see my markings, so that's part of it. Alright. So we did that. Alright, now that we've done all of that, y'all, we are gonna actually try these on again and see if they fit better with the pleats in. Alright, because they were a little funky. Whether you typically need so there are keeping in mind that, like, it depends on how you're, using leather. So what you typically see is the people who are, like, making the holes themselves, and then they have the pieces of leather held together with a clamp, and they're putting the thread through themselves. That's typically a, like, thicker thread. And it's done, like, hand. I can obviously sew through leather with a machine if I would like to, assuming my machine has, like, the weight to do it. And then, yeah, so it's the difference. I would say that, like, it's essentially what you're used to seeing is the difference between me choosing to hand sew something and taking it to the sewing machine. So similarly, like, there are probably thicker leathers that are much more difficult to sew unless you have, like, an industrial machine. So something like super, super heavy duty industrial. If you look up sewing machines, there's two categories. There's domestic. So it's kind of your standard. You use it at home. It's meant to be like what I have. This is a domestic sewing machine. And then you have industrial machines, which typically, are like, if you know Imperial has a couple industrial machines. They tend to be able to do, more stitches per minute. They're larger. They're heftier. But yeah, so you can sew leather, and I have, like, leather, needles. But most of the time, I'm probably going to be working with pleather because real leather is so expensive. I'd be afraid to buy it and sew on it. It's also a little bit of a precision thing because obviously you're putting something through a machine, you screw it up. It's not like with fabric where typically you can iron, you might be able to hide that you just poked a hole through it. You can't do that with leather. Alright, let me swap this over to BRB. And I will be right back. Alright, hilariously, y'all, we might have almost gone too far in the other direction. I might have made the pleats too tight. Hold on a second. Like, can I sit down? I want to see if I can. Oh my god, okay. Alright, well, I have some notes about... It's fine. They're fine. I'll just have to write some notes for how to, So y'all can come closer. Leaf, who was here before, saw how we're no longer in fisherman overalls. We are now in legit pants. Y'all can see how the pleats are kind of working. So, shape. It was like 6 inches of extra material at the top that we've taken in. So, I'll have to be careful in the future to be a little more precise here, because now that I've brought it in, it was a little bit of a second where I was like, am I going to be able to get the zipper all the way up with how tight I made the pleats? And then the other thing as a result of this is that it is much tighter at the crotch than it was before. So I can sit down. At first I was like, is it so tight that I'm not going to be able to sit? I can. I would not be able to eat a large meal and then wear these. We only eat in salads in this now. But I think, overall the construction is good. Thank you, though. Yeah, so now that I'm seeing them, I like the way, at first we were like, how is this? It was literally the, really big, I looked like I was wearing the fly fishing, where they wear the really large, boots with the overalls so that it comes up really hard and they walk out into the river. That's what these look like. They were not tied up here. All of this is taken in because of the pleats. Now that I've done it, yeah, exactly, ready for the outdoors. I like the shape of it. Once you put in the pleats, it really gives you this high waist, but fitted. And then you have the fun of the fabric kind of coming out. So I think I'm liking it a lot better now that we've done that. The only thing is just now that I've done that, I would probably I tried to perfectly fit the circles, which I did. So learning. So here's what I did when I was marking. Now, the other thing I will say here, it might not be as bad. It might loosen a little bit once I wash them. Because as a reminder, I did not wash this fabric before I sewed. The flip side is, it could loosen and be less stiff and have a little bit more give. Alternatively, it could shrink a little bit, in which case I'm definitely not getting these on. But so when I was doing the markings, so this is why you should read the entire pattern beforehand. When I did the markings, what I did was I just marked generally where the line was that the pleats need to be, and then I added the circles at the top and bottom. So it was relatively imprecise because how I thought we were going to make the pleats and how we made the pleats were not the same. And then if I did it, I'd probably give myself just a teeny little bit of give on each side. So rather than trying to line them up perfectly circle over circle, I'd probably have them a little bit offset so that I'm giving myself just a little bit more space. But I would say they're not terrible. I mean, the biggest problem here is that they're just very tight. But I don't think they look that bad. I'm trying to make this light a little less obnoxious, but I don't think that really helps. So you get the fitted waist and the I do like this style of having, let's use one of the pleats, having the wider, I guess, or taller waist. And then have it loosen. I would like to try this again with a different material. With maybe a chino or something. And I would wash the fabric first. But I don't think these are that bad. And honestly, I would not feel terrible about this if I ended up saying these just don't fit me quite well enough to keep and I had to donate them. I feel like this will be a solid pair of pants once I finish the bottom hem. I basically have finishing details now. So, not bad, us. And for once I'm wearing a fabric or a shirt that contrasts well enough that y'all can see it without it looking weird. So yeah, you can tell, like, I slow down as I sit because I'm like, ooh, little bit tight. So I'll have to make some notes about this one. But it's fine, totally fine. So I think I'm going to call it a night here. I know I still have the hymns left to do, and a little bit of seam ripping and a couple other things I need to hand sew in, but I think we're good. We're solid. So, oh, I just clicked something that I don't know what I clicked. Alright. Yeah, we're 90% there. We're 90% there. So look at that. We've made some pants. Legit, the pants I was supposed to have finished over the weekend last week, which we did not get done. Alright, so we're going to call it a night here. I'm going to switch this over to stream is ending. Current plan is to be back as usual on Monday evening. I am hoping to really start knocking out some of these bag projects over the weekend so that hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be making some good progress. So I'll probably do cutting out a number of projects. Actually, I might spend just tomorrow afternoon just cutting fabric. We are going to raid over to D&D Jordan Lee, who is running a Girl by Moonlight game right now, fundraising for the Palestinian Children's Relief Fund as part of Games for Change May 2023. Cat, well, I forgot that the pants are supposed to be done over the weekend. That's perfect. I don't need you all to do that. I will get those head pads for Susie. So thank you so much for Pink Pirate and friends coming over on the raid, and everybody else who had their multi-stream streaks. Let me actually start the raid. Our raid call. Use hashtag LuckyRaid with Susie or any other hi or hello emote that you have. We're gonna get, I wish it would default to the people you follow for raiding. So there's good people that we know doing this game as well, so we are gonna head on over. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I do appreciate you. As always, please be safe, be healthy, happy crafting, happy gaming. I will see you all over the weekend on the other side. We have some cool people in this game. Girl by Moonlight is one I want to play. I think I actually have everything for it. So off we go, everyone, and have a good weekend.